Just wanted to touch on the subject of platform demonstration. I so often see, and I suppose in this video, I'm really reaching out to mediums who are either thinking about going on the platform, who have already been working with, perhaps you're working with your mediumship in private sittings and you've been developing that for some time. And sometimes we reach a point as a medium where we feel confident enough to demonstrate that publicly. And I'm also reaching out on this video to mediums who are already practicing their demonstrations to the public. And what really came to mind for me was that I see so often very good mediums who have real potential, but I see them struggling on the platform. And I've looked into this and felt into this. What things make them struggle? Why are they struggling? And the first two things that really come to mind, the first one is that they're not trained to know who they're with in the audience. What do I mean by that? So going direct. So when I train my students in the awareness circle, for example, when we sit in a group, I begin right at the basics of their development to help them to understand who they're with, to get that feeling, the clairsentience, to go with that person, to feel into it, to be, I'm directed to that person, to feel the energy. Or perhaps they're using the clairvoyant faculty to see something. There may be a light, sparkling light, something that attracts them to that person. And I feel that, why is this important? Well, it saves a lot of time and a lot of struggle. So when a medium can be trained to go direct to the person they are with in the audience, so I'm straight away coming to you, I know I've got your mum here, blah, blah, and then you can deliver the message. And it saves so much time. Because when we throw things out, and when I first started to work mediumistically on the platform, I probably knew who I was with straight away. I just see that as part of my work. That's how I work, that I know who I'm with. But it did change. And as I went through my development more, it changed where I did start to try and throw it out, because I saw other mediums working that way. And I suppose in my innocence thought that was the right way to do things. But actually what I found was I'd throw out details and you might get several different hands going up that they can all accept it, even when the evidence is there. And what that did was it takes maybe 5 minutes sometimes, 4 or 5 minutes to actually work through, and you're used to find who you're with, actually who you're with. So it uses a lot of your energy as a medium. It uses a lot of time. So I think learning to go direct is a very powerful tool for the platform medium. So know who you're with. The second one is to know who you've got in the spirit world. Do I have mother? Do I have father? Do I have brother, sister, husband? Who is it? Is it a friend? And then bring through some evidential information about that person in the spirit, that person you've connected with in the audience will understand. Those key elements get your demonstration, your connection off to a fine start. And then what happens is everything can really flow beautifully. So you've got your connection with who you're with in the audience. You've got your connection with who you're with in the spirit world. You're but the channel, and you are like the telephone operator, bringing through that information. So once you've achieved those two beautiful connections, then the medium, you can really go into that evidential information, the message, what the spirit person really wants to say. Because on platform, in my training, we always work with between 7 and 10 minutes with each person, because otherwise you're going into the private sitting arena where you're given a longer reading, which is really for private sitting. So on a demonstration, we have to work quite quickly. And that's where I feel most, a lot, not all, but a lot of mediums struggle with that, you know, or they waste a lot of time. A lot of time is wasted by trying to find who you're with. So let's finesse that, you know, let's really get into that. And that's what I wanted to really share with you, because how can you do that? And it is training, it is. I mean, the first thing is to be aware of the energy of what you're feeling, to start to create the awareness of when you're standing on the platform. Ask your spirit team, tell them, this is how I really want to work. I would really like to go direct. I would really like to know the relationship of who's with me in the spirit world, so that I can get on with the message and the work and the evidence that needs to come through. So really, I think that's the first point for all platform mediums who wish to go direct, is to start create that awareness, have that dialogue with your spirit team. Tell them this is how you would really like to work. You really need to know. You have to, you know, this is it's a beautiful, excuse me, a beautiful relationship with you and your spirit team. And in that relationship, it's very important that you can also let your team know how you wish to work, what works for you. And then by letting them know as well, then you can work together as a team. So if you want to be more evidential, for example, if you want to bring through more evidence, then let your team know what kind of evidence works for you. I always worked, when I trained myself, I asked for 6 pieces of strong evidence in the beginning of my communication to really get me off to a good start in that connection, to know who I'm with in the spirit world and to know who I'm with also in the audience. So those things, little tips there, start to create that awareness really, and speak to your spirit team. So I hope that helps. But really, it's such a nice flowing and beautiful spirit connection when we can really fine tune that and start to work with those aspects of our mediumship, and then we can really be in that energy, and we're not so focused on the audience as well. We're more focused on the spirit world, which is really where we need to be.